Hi, Star Fox fan under 40 here. I have some mild thoughts to say about the soon-to-release Star Fox. Not that one, this one. But not that version of it, the updated version. The remake. The newer remake. To be completely honest, just right out of the gate, I'm so worried about this series and its future. The franchise is getting its, ninth game now? 10th if you want to count Star Fox Guard, and like half of the series is just the same game redone again. I think it's fair to be a little concerned now. And I'm not saying I hate Star Fox 64. No, I love that game. I played it when I was 9 on my newly gifted 3DS. And now, 13 years later, I will still be playing Star Fox 64, and that's not really the best outcome in my mind. And nothing about it is inherently putting me off. It's a beautiful looking game, and I'm confident it's still going to be great because it's a remake of Star Fox 64, and Star Fox 64 is good. I'm not worried about that. I'm concerned for the series itself. Like, as the years go by, I just have to ask, is this all Star Fox can be? Is this all Nintendo thinks it needs to be? I don't agree, and there's been plenty of discussions online. I hear the most common sentiment being, oh, this is going to be a great start for newcomers. Star Fox 64 is a great place to begin. And yeah, but is it a great game to start with because it's a good game, or is it because there's literally no other alternative made? Let's say you're a newcomer to the franchise, and you ask, what's a good place to start? Well, I could easily point to the first game. You know, it's a classic choice, but Star Fox 64 is just a reboot of the first game. That's why most fans would answer this game by default. But there's also, like, the 3DS version of it, remaster, whatever it really is, which might offer a more smooth experience. You know, maybe you want that instead. Star Fox Zero exists, which is a reimagining of Star Fox 64, and then the new game is just a full remake of 64. And that's 5 games alone right there. And I'm only listing these 5 in particular because I think these are the most likely candidates to be recommended to a newcomer. Being an Adventures dick rider myself, I would never tell someone to start with this. It's nothing like any of the other Star Fox games. Adventures is a novelty to play once you're familiar with the base series. Alternatively, if you're a Zelda fan who is just really bored one day, you know, try it. I think I really undersell how much I like Adventures. It's a good game, I promise. Assault is a multiplayer game with a campaign that lasts like maybe an hour or two. And the multiplayer is fun, but Star Fox isn't a multiplayer-centered franchise. At this point, you're left with either Command, which is not a very good starting place either, that takes place after Assault, story-wise, and then there's Star Fox 2, which I would absolutely put under the novelty category. It's a canceled game that was released randomly 20 years later. Not what I would deem as a great starting point. Of the 5 popular, most plausible choices, you're just picking what flavor of 64 you want. I'm not saying I inherently disagree. I know 64 is just the best place to start with. I just think it's a funny thing to claim and also ignore that there is literally no better option because it's yet to be made. Completely separate note, I see a lot of fans treating the new Star Fox release as Nintendo testing the waters for a bigger game in the future. You know, get the newer generation interested, see if it sells well, you know. How long is it going to take Nintendo to step in the fucking pool? They've been testing the waters longer than I've been alive. I'll cope with you. I pray this truly is Nintendo's final test, that they have this grand, ambitious game for the crew, but it's got a minimum of 3 to 4 years until my belief starts to falter. Any longer than that, and I'm going to just be expecting to wait another 11 years for another 64 remake. I earnestly think that both Star Fox Adventures and Assault were pushing the series in a more interesting direction, involving on-ground planet exploration and combat. I would go as far to say that if Adventures utilized the rail shooting sections more, and made them not shitty, that it would be a good thing. You know? I think especially with the Switch generation allowing a lot of other franchises to really grow and flourish to new heights, I'm sad that it feels like Star Fox was welded to the ground in 1997 and can't move on from that. I like that Zelda went open world for a bit and structured puzzles to encourage player freedom. I like that Mario went back to sandbox-esque levels while doubling down on fluent movement. I think it's awesome that Nintendo is just taking risks with these games and trying something new with them. Maybe it won't always work out like expected, or maybe it'll create a fresh and notable experience. Welcome to Video Games 101. You win some, you lose some. And so if there is one thing I want the most out of Nintendo in these next couple of years, let Star Fox go crazy and take some risks again. It makes no sense for this series to feel like an exception where Nintendo is pacing in their rooms back and forth pondering, what the hell could we possibly make out of this? And I'm not necessarily saying Star Fox needs to go open world or anything. I'm not asking for No Man's Sky Star Fox Edition. Just anything original shouldn't be a crazy thing to hope for. At the very least, we can agree on that, right? I'm still excited for Star Fox. I don't have any worries about the upcoming game. If anything, it would shock me more if Nintendo fucked up a full-blown remake like this. I've been seeing people fearmonger about the art style a lot, and man... Yeah, okay, Falco looks a little stupid from the waist down, but they all look really great. Most of them look great. I just remembered Katsuri design. Don't know what they were thinking with that one. With that, I'm gonna wrap the video up there. Truth be told, I wasn't originally planning this as my next video. I got 2 other projects on the way. One doesn't have a finished script, and the other I am actually currently working on while making this video. Star Fox has just been recently taking up a lot of my brain space, and I wanted to whine for a little while. That's all I got now, though. If you enjoyed my rambling, be sure to let me know. I'm pretty good at not shutting up, and I'll gladly do this again. Subscribe if you feel like it, and with that, I'll see you later.